the Tarot Cottage. My name is Amy. I'm back today with a pick a card reading for you. Welcome to my beautiful returning subscribers. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for your support of me. A big thank you to everyone who comments below my videos, and a special big thank you to everyone who has recently subscribed and commented. Be sure to check your notifications because I just recently reached out to another winner. So be sure to check those notifications in case you are that winner so that I can hear back from you and I can read for you. If you're here for the very first time, we would love to have you join us. Please subscribe to the channel, drop your comment below so that I can give you a chance to win a free reading as well. And pull up a chair, get cozy. We're all friends when we gather at this table, and we're going to have a little chat today. Because today's pick a card reading is all about the person that ghosted you. So why did they ghost you? What was going on? Can you expect to hear back from this person at any point? We have 3 piles to choose from today. We have pile number 1 here with this 6 of Cups. This is the Halloween Tarot. And the pink quartz. We have pile number 2 here with the 2 of Cups. And we have the yellow jasper. And pile number 3 with the Page of Cups. And we have the green aventurine. So whichever pile or piles are calling out to you, there may be a message waiting today from Spirit. My timestamps are below, and I'm going to jump right into pile number 1 today. So we're asking today about the person on your mind that has ghosted you, who just kind of fell off the radar. Why did they ghost? And can you expect to ever hear back from them again? Pile number 1. Hello, pile 1. You were drawn to the pink quartz. Or to the 6 of Cups here, and this is your reading. You're wondering why this person on your mind ghosted you. What happened to them? Why did they fall off of the radar? Now, the 6 of Cups can speak about even friendship that formed first. You could even have a history with this person. Like you may have grown up with them. There may be a history here. This could also be sort of an inclination as to why they ghosted in the first place. So we're going to see what your tarot comes and brings out. But there's a sense here of thinking we had a deep connection and being perhaps really blindsided by the fact that they ghosted you in the first place. So we'll see how that flows into your reading today. What is going on in this connection, please, Spirit? What was happening before this all began, before the ghosting happened? What was going on in this connection? Page of Pentacles. So you may have been sort of deep in communication with this person. It was like a new opportunity. And there could have been it's rife with potential, the Page of Pentacles. You can see there's a group of trees in the back, but there's also this empty field. It's like, what does the future hold? It's filled and rife with possibility. So when we don't know what the unknown holds, sometimes we'll fill in the blanks ourselves with our expectations. But I feel like the conversation was good. You know, it flowed well. It made you feel like there was a lot of potential. Yeah, it just feels like there was a lot of communication going on. And now it's like a stark contrast to that, because I feel like there's a big discrepancy in the balance here. It's some person's controlling all of the information while another person feels like they're begging for scraps. And so I feel like there could have been a lot of communication, and then it might have tapered off a little bit before the ghosting happened. We have the 2 of Swords. The Justice. The 3 of Cups. Back of the deck is the 8 of Swords. And we have the King of Cups. This person could have been a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio, potentially. But there's an interesting dynamic about this King of Cups. He's paired with this, he's supporting this 8 of Swords. And so we're getting into sort of the meat and bones as to what happened here. But this King of Cups, first of all, there can be soulmate connections with the King of Cups. And sometimes the King of Cups, he's the most emotional. He can sometimes present himself as a really great option as well. Let's clarify this message, please. What's going on in this connection? Why did they get ghosted? 8 of Wands. I do feel like even some components of the communication could have kind of started to fall into a fiery energy. There's like a pressure being applied to perhaps even meet or travel to see each other in some way. So there could have been an online component to this connection in the past. And there was this real sense of I feel like you guys shared a lot of personal things. I feel like you were really vulnerable in those conversations, not only emotionally speaking, but also sort of sexually speaking. It's like just pushing yourself out of your comfort zone in the communication style that the two of you were communicating with. We have here the Magician. And I just heard this saying of like, I don't have all of the answers. There is this emphasis on this person wanting to control, I don't want to say manipulate the conversation, but control the trajectory of the conversation, because they didn't really feel like they could commit yet. They were uncertain. They could have had decisions to make between, you know, meeting you and not meeting you. And there could have been a pressure starting to be applied to physically sort of see each other. Oops. On the floor, we have the Empress. And we have the Lovers. Back of the deck is the Seven of Pentacles. And we have the Strength. I feel like you could have spent quite a bit of time speaking with this person, maybe more than what you, I don't want to say more than you feel comfortable with. It's like you're talking for a really long time and you really thought that that investment was going to pay off and turn it into a full-fledged relationship. Spirit is indicating that this person may have ghosted, and there's many reasons why this person's ghosting. First of all, there's the practical reason. It's the excuse they give themselves to ghost. And then there's the spiritual reason, or the fear-based reason, as to the true inclination as to why they can't seem to move into a commitment cycle. This person, first of all, heart space blocked, you know, keeping their blinders on because they're afraid of being vulnerable. And I feel like they did feel that sense of connection with you. And I think that that's really scary for them, because there was something mysterious about you that sets you apart from other opportunities. And it was easier for them to ghost other people in the past, perhaps, than it was for you, because there was this sense of distracting myself with other parties, other people, going out and having fun, you know, because I'm afraid of the cause and effect of this connection. I'm afraid of where this path leads. And so there's this fear of like investing. It's like, I can't invest here. I'm turning my back on the emotion that I was starting to feel because I can't invest here, because it's testing this strength inside of me, and I'm wearing masks. And the truth is I'm not confident, and I'm not ready for a relationship cycle. I'm not ready for permanent change, and I'm still really confused as to where I want to be. So they felt the pressure coming in for you, and not even from you, but just your essence, sort of the mystery of you and what you can represent, the abundance that you represent. It's very intimidating when it's sort of shining in the face of us, you know, it's being reflected back at us, and it makes us feel like we have deficits. And that's what this person is saying, is I wasn't ready for permanent change. You were ready for commitment. I was, or even not necessarily a commitment, but you were ready to take it to another phase that wasn't just communication, that wasn't just fire, that was something deeper. And I'm afraid of that. I'm afraid of that. It's like you touched a place inside of me that no one else has. You can see she's reaching under the rib cage to touch their heart. So you made an impression here on this person, but they used the distractions as the out. They were looking for an exit sign because they were giving themselves an excuse to skirt away before they were having to put themselves in a position of, okay, where am I? Where do I want to be? Should I invest in this connection? They just weren't ready for they weren't on your frequency in that moment. And you can see even here with the Lovers that the masculine is looking up at the key, and it's this big heart space that is blocked off, that they were afraid that you were getting close to accessing. And the Ghost. And my light in the center just went out, actually. And it's interesting because my two lights on the side remind me of the 11 of the Gateway. We have here Acceptance. And then we have the Forgiveness card. Now we're already starting to get into advice sections of your reading from your guides coming in. We have the Gratitude card here as well. There was potential here. Spirit says there was potential here, but they don't want this person's loss to be your loss. So this card of Acceptance is really speaking about how, you know, her name is Cherry. She doesn't even like cherry pie, but that's all they have on the menu. And so there's a sense of like, it is what it is, and we can't stop another person's actions or intentions. We can't force our will upon them, for instance. We can't make them be ready when they're not ready. And so there's a message from our guides to surrender to this person's decisions, that we can't hold people accountable for our expectations. And ultimately, this forgiveness energy is for us. It's about forgiving this person regardless of the information that will or will not come in for us to help clarify their actions. It's about recognizing that there's a deficit within them and not within us. And that's why they felt so uncomfortable with the idea of expansion here. Ultimately, they say that you may be grateful that this turned out the way that it did. But we're going to take a peek into this person's current feelings. And then we're going to look at the future of the connection and whether or not they're going to make another appearance, if they're going to reach back out to you. So what is their current frame of mind towards pile number 1, please? My life started when I met you. The 2 of Cups. Or the 2 of Wands. Lots of flirtation, lots of physical attraction. I do want a fresh start with you. I feel like they are sort of kicking themselves now. They realize that they've kind of maybe messed something up. There's an aspect of them trying to distract themselves again by going out with other people, having fun, distracting themselves in the world. But they're just turning their back on the true emotion that they did start to feel for you. It was the beginnings. You have so many choices and options. It's like, what do you need me for? But I also feel like that was one of the reasons why they ghosted, was there is a sense of options, and these options, it's like the path of least resistance. It's easier to explore them than it is to really start to be vulnerable in this conversation that the 2 of you were having, especially when it comes to the vulnerability aspect of it. It's like they're confused in this moment about how you're feeling about the situation. And now they wonder if it's wishful thinking for them to think that they can make some sort of turnaround here. I miss you. Do you miss me? And they're starting to feel that growing pressure. I feel like they're trying to distract themselves from that feeling, but they lie awake now thinking about what they've done, thinking about the future, wondering if it's over. So let's ask Spirit about that. Now, in the future position in your card spread, we do have the 3 of Cups, which can speak of reunions. So will this person reach back out to pile number 1, please? Will they ghost forever? 10 of Cups, the 10 of Swords. Spirit's adamant that they're preparing you for something better. They're preparing you for something better. We have the King of Wands. Back of the deck is the 2 of Wands with the Justice. Now, Spirit is they're indicating actually that you may hear from this person online. Specifically, they may send a little feeler, send out a text message, something of that design, but it's not going to meet your expectations. So whatever you think this person will say or do in the future of this connection, it may not turn out in that way, because the 10 of Swords is asking us to release. And the 10 of Cups, beginning up the cycle, is Spirit's way of kind of tempering that painful message, because we have our heart set here. And they want our focus to be more empowered towards future endeavors, because it's this focus that's going to get us to this. And as you can see, her hair is all relaxed now. It looks like it's been braided all night. And so there's a sense of like things holding us back. And everything that we're going through now is sort of the building blocks of experience that we're going to need to draw upon in future opportunities. So they're preparing you for something bigger and better. And so they don't want you to concern yourself with the fact that this person has ghosted. I do feel like they are going to put out a feeler, but I feel like your focus is completely shifted by the time they do that, because we have a sense of justice coming in for you. So it's like you hear back from them, but then it's like justified because you're no longer available, or you're not even that you're not available, but that your mindset has shifted and you're no longer available because you're like, I don't tolerate less than what I deserve, and that was less than what I deserved. So I feel like you're going to hear from them on an online sort of text message basis, but I feel like your perspective will have shifted at that time, and you'll no longer be in that frequency of reception. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 1. Ghosting individual. What was the last thought they had about pile 1 in the bowl today? The last thought this person had about pile 1 in the bowl. The Knight of Cups. They were thinking about coming forward with some more communication recently, but they're like, that's really unrealistic for me to assume I should do that. They were kind of on the fence. They're not feeling grounded. They're not feeling prepared. They're feeling a little bit isolated, a little bit lonely. Even though they're distracting themselves with other realms, they're still feeling isolated, and they feel like they've probably missed out on something great because the Star is here and you feel really far away now. They feel like they wasted potential in this situation, and there's a mild sort of sadness kind of creeping in for them. Again, they're trying to distract themselves by maintaining this shiny armor elsewhere, but it's a persona. It's like they can only maintain that persona for so long in these connections before the true fear inside of them starts to creep to the surface. You have the Sun Ruin. You do have clarity coming in for you in the form of some type of message. But here's the Hierophant steps with the V. And so I feel like you'll have moved on to a different level of perspective at that time. We do have the saxophone. I think about those early 90s music videos where somebody's longing and woefully playing the saxophone on a beach. So take that as it resonates. Maybe you play the saxophone. We also have here the surrender and the flow of the divine feminine. So going with the flow, you could be a water element, a Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio. We have strawberry. We have Z, so dreams, significance, or perhaps even initials. We have the open book, and we have the wrench in our plans. This person is not an open book, and that's the wrench, is their inability to kind of step outside of their persona and be the truest version of themselves. They don't rely on their intuition to guide them. They really let the ego drive them through. And so here, they want you to follow your intuition at this time and understand that this pink starfish, again, is for the divine feminine. The shamanic feathers for the healing for the divine feminine, because they're encouraging that healing cycle to recognize that you're whole without this person, even if you felt that deep connection. And even if we have a soulmate contract in place, that doesn't complete you. You are responsible for your own happiness. You are whole and complete without this person's, without the addition of this person in your life. And they want you to embody that confidence. All right, Pile 1, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates with you. If it did, please drop me your comment below so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading. And I have recently reached out to a new winner, so please check your notifications in case I chose you so that we can get the ball rolling and I can read for you. But you can also check out my links below for Etsy for a personal reading if you feel called to, and for Instagram. But I really just hope that you come back here for another visit at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 2. You were drawn to the yellow jasper, or perhaps to the Two of Cups here, and this is your reading. Why did the person on your mind ghost you? Are they going to make contact with you in the future? The Two of Cups is talking about someone who you perhaps were in a relationship with, or maybe you thought you were on the way to that relationship as well. And it's perhaps taking a really hard, sort of task upon you to sort of rise above the pain of the situation, because you really thought that there was mutual attraction, and even this cat above is wearing these wings, so it's like it's trying to leap over this expectation and leap over the situation that we've been ghosted, but it's really difficult for us to release this. So let's see what Spirit is saying about your reading today. What is going on in this connection? What was going on to start off this connection? Where were they in this connection before it all began? Eight of Cups. The Star. There's a feeling of somebody like working on a relationship, or like trying to work on things here. The Nine of Swords. And I feel like there's a fear in you that this person was tempted to another realm by somebody else. Like you have this consistent worry that's going through your mind that you're trying to shake off, you're trying to heal from, but you can't stop thinking that what if it was another person? Like there's just this, it's like torture. It's like we're torturing ourselves. And it's like we want the details because we're torturing ourselves. We have the Devil. And we have the Ace of Cups. Back of the deck is the Queen of Pentacles, and we have the Hanged Man. Now I'm going to clarify this with a second deck here. What's this? Traditional Rider-Waite. What's going on in this connection, please, Spirit? Why did they ghost? it's teetering on like an obsessive energy. So you may find that you're kind of trying to find this person online a lot. You're looking online a lot, because I'm just feeling it's like it's moved past this feeling of balance or even the necessity for balance, and it's moved into like an addictive energy. You have the King of Pentacles. And if this was an official relationship, if you guys were in a relationship when this happened, it feels like there was investment here, whether it be emotional or physical. The Three of Pentacles. Or in the very least, we were given the impression that we were moving into that cycle. Like we had hoped that we were moving into this relationship cycle, and they have fueled that impression at us perhaps too. Like they made you think that this was going to move into a romantic cycle. We have the Six of Pentacles. The Four of Wands. Spirit is saying that for someone watching, there definitely was a sexual component to the ghosting. So there's a sense of temptation testing us, opportunity testing us. But that's the thing, is that it's less about the person and more about the opportunity. They say that this person wasn't feeling emotionally invested here the way that perhaps you hoped that they were, or even the way that they were presenting themselves. So you may have been very blindsided, because the King of Pentacles doesn't like to be knocked off his post. He doesn't like other people's opinions faltering in him. So he is likely to be like, I'm not facing my truth. I don't want to look at you in the eye and tell you how I truly feel here. I'm just going to slip away. I'm just going to slip away, because they weren't feeling the satisfaction that you hoped that they were feeling, or that they were telling you that they were feeling as well. We have the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Nine of Cups. Back of deck with the Six of Cups. And I feel like it's really painful for you, because the Six of Cups is talking about this deep connection that you felt with this person. And there's this feeling of like, I thought that I knew who this person was, and now I've been blindsided by this person. But what I'm seeing here is this collector. There's this sense of smugness about this person. There's a little bit of emotional manipulation going on here. I feel like this is the type of person that wants their cake and eat it too, because they wanted to give you the best impression of themselves. They wanted to give you hope and fuel that hope, but they didn't want to take the practical steps to get you there. And when they started to recognize that they weren't sort of getting what they wanted in that moment, or the satisfaction that they thought that they would get, they allowed temptation to test them, or they went looking for it, to be honest. Because there's a sense of them loving the maintenance of control. This person really loves to be able to control the trajectory of their life. They like to be able to control the conversation, control expectations from other people as well. And there's a sense of them kind of smug in their energy a little bit. Like, I'm this collector. This person could have been really good looking, though. I feel like there's a reason why we're so attracted to this person, because you make a beautiful couple. I feel like on the outside of things, you would look perfect together. There's a sense of attraction about both of you. But this person didn't present themselves in a true light to you. They were wearing masks. They could have even already been a part of other foundations, if I'm honest, when they presented themselves to you in a certain light that they were available for a relationship. They may not have been, if I'm honest. There may have been attachments already for them. And so when they started to feel the heat there, they skirted out. But it's interesting, because there is a similar message here to pile number 1. And I feel like this is going to be a message for the collective today, because there is an emphasis here on us absorbing and internalizing other people's actions towards us. And so there is a message coming through for you about this independent streak that you find yourself in. This Queen of Pentacles, they really want to highlight that no matter what this person has done, it can't hold a candle to the light that you shine in the world. The Queen of Pentacles, she is the type of energy that says, I want people, but I don't need this person. And so there's this, even if we have to fake that mentality until we make it, it's about embracing that independent cycle. And there is another message coming in too, but we're gonna look into their current reasonings, their current feelings, before we move into advice. Why did they ghost, please, Spirit? We have December being significant, so we could find that there is going to be contact in December, potentially. Because even the Six of Cups can talk about reunions, that this person may have intentions of creating with you. And there's a bit of a expectant energy about it. It's like, oh, I'm confident that I'm going to be well received back because there was such a strong attachment over here. A little bit of a smug energy. Why did they ghost, please, Spirit? You have here great good fortune and discord among friends or family. So there is this, the 4-leaf clover is about good luck. And so that's coming in for you too. This card is very important. It's coming about good luck on your side ultimately. But there's also this sense of when the cat's away, the mice will play. I don't know that this person was presenting themselves in a pure light, in a true light. And I feel like they should have sort of created more space in their life for you before they made these promises or these proclamations to you about what they wanted, because I feel like they told you that they wanted this relationship. We have frying pan, trouble and accusations, jumping out of the frying pan and into the fire, because I don't think they were available to start with. Then we have the fox, shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. The King of Swords, Libra, Aquarius, Gemini, potentially. But this fox thinks he's real smart, you know. The fox is known as sneaky. You know, they say that, but he's also really intelligent. And so this person thinks that they were logical, they were being sneaky, and they thought that they were being sneakier than they actually were. And there could have been, again, I feel like there were attachments that this person was not being honest about. We have here bouquet, compliments from an admirer, and sunrise. New creative ideas, new ventures, and a fresh start. Now, when I see the bouquet like this, I do think about renewals and romances, and I feel this person has intentions towards you in the future. So I'm going to look at their current feelings, and then we're going to move into their intentions and some advice from Spirit as well. What are their true feelings at this moment? What are they thinking and feeling for pile 2 since they ghosted? Separation, time apart is on the horizon. So they're thinking about being away from you. They have, that's the thing, is when we ghost, when somebody ghosts us, it's not that they're actually getting away with anything. The lingering energies, the thoughts, it's going to chase them. It's going to catch up to them. We have deception. Someone is wearing a false mask in this relationship, and they were lying to you from the get-go. They have heavy masks on in all of the arenas of their life. And then we have here, stay optimistic about your love life. Positive thinking will bring you romance. And there is, I do have a really positive message coming in for you for the future, actually, that is waiting for you. What sort of thoughts is this person having for pile 2? I know more than you think. They could be trying to keep tabs on you even though they've ghosted. It's like they still want their thumb in things. They still want to hold on to this connection because they have intentions, I feel, towards you. It says, I've been doing spell work on you. I feel like this person manipulated a little bit the situation. It says, I'm speaking through songs. They could have even used flowery language or really complimentary language, maybe even song lyrics to I don't want to say manipulation, but that's what I'm feeling. Even the spell work, it's like they put a spell on you. I keep hearing that song from Hocus Pocus, I put a spell on you. I'm going to take action, but I'm just planning my approach. And I feel like it needs to take a practical plan because I feel like they are, I feel like they might have some sort of other attachment or other attachments. The thought of explaining myself to you scares me, and I don't want to see the pain that I caused in your eyes, so I just avoided it. And I'm feeling now the consequences of my actions. I'm feeling the fact that I've lost this, and they think you're gorgeous. I will say that. They think that you're like really physically beautiful. This could be the type of person that does prioritize that. For some reason, I just saw Adam Levine in my head. It's obviously not Adam Levine, but I just saw him in my head. But let's take a look here. The future of this connection. First of all, Spirit wants to speak about this opportunity in your hands right now, because this burdock, the hanged man, the burdock here, you know, burdock can only thrive if there's nothing else in the soil. It's like it can only thrive in depleted soil. And so they take the leaves, the broad leaves of the burdock, and they compost it and they fuel it back to the soil to create abundance. And then the irony is it can't thrive anymore. And so that's the message here. There's the Two of Swords. That's the message for you with this Queen of Pentacles, is to embrace an independent journey and turn that gaze towards yourself, because this person's actions isn't, again, it doesn't hold a candle to the truth of you, it doesn't hold a candle to your desirability or your worth or your value. And so when we start to turn that gaze inward, even if this person has intentions coming forward, by the time they kind of surrender to that intention and they actually take those steps, they won't perhaps be able to thrive in your environment. You may not even want them in your environment at that time. So your shift and your gaze may shift, or your gaze may shift towards this person. So are they going to reach out? Will this person stop ghosting and make contact with pile number 2? Four of Wands, Four of Cups, and there's the fox. He's got that rabbit in his mouth. There's a sense of like controlling when I come in, feeling helpless to come in right this moment, but planning an approach. Planning an approach. And I will say here too, the fox is very sneaky. And even like when a fox is going to teach its cubs or its children to hunt, they'll hide the supper around, right? So there's a hidden truth to this person. We have the Eight of Cups and we have the Nine of Swords. We also have the Two of Swords. There is going to be some delays in this person approaching you, but they have intentions of doing so. But I feel like it's going to be delayed, and it could be quite a few months before you do hear from this person, but I think they're going to reach out to you. But that's why Spirit's like, this is a really opportunity these months ahead of you where you may not hear from this person. I feel like they're laying low right this moment. They're laying low because they're afraid to kind of face consequences in multiple environments. And even here with the Four of Wands, you'll notice every time I put down this card, I always hear that song, it's a grumpy old troll who lives under the bridge. And so there's a sense of like, something gonna nab me if I go through now. So it's like something's gonna come up and grab me if I try to contact you now. So I think it's gonna be a few months before they do reach out. And this is the golden opportunity that Spirit's talking about surrendering to the truth, surrendering to your independence, and having that cast like almost like a Batman signal to all other energies that are on your frequency. Because as much as this person presented themselves as on your frequency, there's a reason they're just a support card and not up top here. They weren't actually on your frequency, even though they did present themselves as such. So they're not gonna stay in no contact forever. It's gonna be a few months though, and it might lead upwards of past 6 months before this person does reach out to you. But they will. And what you do with that opportunity is yours, but Spirit is here asking you to embrace the in-between so that you can clear out all unnecessary clutter. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 2. What was the last thought that this person had about pile 2 on the board? The Strength, Leo energy, Five of Pentacles. They were thinking about the separation. They were thinking also about what steps they're going to have to take to rebuild the foundation that has kind of crumbled with their actions, and trying to find the strength to do so, to bridge that gap, because they know they've left you in the dark. And they're anxious about having to kind of do more work. It's like there's this emphasis on like how much more work am I going to have to put in now to do damage control. Spirit is adamant though, when people, they keep saying this over and over, that when people ghost like this, it's a cowardly event. You know, they are taking the path of least resistance instead of facing their truth. We have G and V. We have here Six of Wands and the Five of Wands. Spirit says that it may be difficult for us to try to overcome this opportunity or overcome the potential that we saw here. It's going to be a struggle, but confidence is our key to success, and they say that we will be victorious. They say that the frustration that we feel here, we can use to apply force to kind of move ourselves into a different perspective. We do have the rocking horse, I think, of children and decisions made because of children, so take that as it resonates. We have the moon, I think about our intuition and the fear of the unknown. We have the flat Empress shell, and this has sucked the wind out of your sails. I feel like there was a lot of hope wrapped around this, and this really sucked the winds out of your sails. But we do have the Tree of Life, I think of families and commitments. We have the self-sacrifice of the honeybee and sweet results that await us. We have Cupid's arrow, and we have Just Be. There's an emphasis on surrendering to the present. Spirit doesn't want us to try to bring our awareness to the past or to the future. They want us to just be in the present, because that's where all of the seeds of information, all of their advice lies, is in that present. All right, Pile 2, that's what I have for you today. I hope that it resonates. If it did, please drop your comment below, and be sure to hit your notification bell so that I can enter you in for a chance to win a free reading. And if you have recently notified or hit your notification bell because you did leave a comment, be sure to go back and check those notifications, because I have recently reached out to yet another winner, and so I'm waiting to hear back from them. You can also check me out below for my links for Instagram and for personal reading on Etsy. But I hope that you come back and visit me on another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day. Hello, pile number 3, you were drawn to the Green Adventurine, or to the Page of Cups here, the Page of Ghosts, and this is your reading. Why did your person ghost you? And will they reach out to you after some time? And if so, when will that happen? The Page of Cups here is talking about sudden changes that happen, so they ghosted you very suddenly. It can also speak about information coming in for you out of the blue as well. So they may arrive back into your life just as suddenly as they exit it. And you can see that this ghost was wearing a mask in the first place. So that could be an inclination as to what the reasons were behind the ghosting. But let's take a look here. So what was going on in this connection right before the ghosting happened, Spirit? Where did this begin? In this connection for pile number 3. We have the Death energy reversed, but that's a lot of cards. So we're going to put that back in. What's going on here in this connection? We have the Three of Wands. We have the Queen of Cups. I feel like there's a lot of almost even anger coming in. It's like I'm really upset. It's like if they do reach out to me, it's like they're going to get an earful or something, because there was emotional investment here. This Queen of Cups is invested, and this Three of Wands is talking about how I was making plans for expansion. I thought this was going somewhere. But this Three of Wands specifically, you can see this cauldron is overflowing. It's kind of intimidating. Some of the perhaps emotional investment that you made, it's like a feeling intimidated by how quickly you fell or how deeply you feel. So there's a sense of that, of like, even you being perhaps surprised by how deeply you fell or felt for this person. But there's intimidation surrounding it. We have the Chariot. And you look at the Chariot, it's Cruella de Vil. There's a sense she's got half white, half black hair. And there's this feeling of like, I'm not getting any younger. So there's this, I'm getting this sense of urgency in making decisions, and especially emotional decisions. It's like she's driving that Chariot very quickly. You know, she almost looks crazed in the way that she's driving it forward. And there's this huge discrepancy now that I'm seeing between the Page and the Queen. It's like there's a lot of potential in the Page. It's new beginnings. It's potential in relationships. But there's a lot of innocence here. And the Page isn't often ready to go into a commitment cycle or to really jump into things with 2 feet. But this Queen of Wands, she wants security and she wants to know where this is headed. And we have the Knight of Cups. Yeah, there's a big discrepancy between who this person is and who you are in this moment, because this Knight of Cups, you can see it's Gaston, and Gaston had a real manly ideology about roles and about how things should go and the trajectory of things. And the Knight of Cups wants to present everybody, they want everyone to think highly of them. You know, they want everyone to think highly of them, so they present themselves in the shiniest armor possible. But they are hiding like a deep sort of insecurity or an emotionally, it's like this person is saying, I was emotionally ill-equipped. I wasn't on the same level as you. And it made them feel vulnerable. The desire for you to move forward quickly, it made them feel kind of scared or vulnerable about how fast things were moving. We have the Moon, and they were just really afraid of where this path led. We have the Four of Coins, and we have the Nine of Coins. You know, it's interesting because in this pile, I don't feel like this person was necessarily driven by seduction or by other energies. It feels like a lot of fear coming in, a lot of insecurity about where this path was going to lead. and how it's like they felt the weight of that too. That's coming in very heavily. It's like the weight of the expectations were very heavy upon them. It's like they were afraid that they couldn't match them. Can you clarify, please, the Three of Wands? Why did this person on pile number 3 ghost pile 3? The Knight of Swords. The King of Pentacles. Very strong Cancer energy here. Scorpio. Taurus. Capricorn. Nine of Pentacles. And the Four of Pentacles. Back of the deck is the Queen of Swords and the Five of Swords. Now, I don't feel like this person was necessarily driven by attraction elsewhere. I feel like this person was wearing a mask a little bit with you, and not in a negative way. I'm not getting the sense that there was like negative masks, but I feel like they really wanted to meet your expectations because they found you really attractive, and they want to be on the same level as you because you represent someone who's ready for ascension. You represent someone who is secure in themselves, potentially, and knowing where you want to go in life. And that's appealing. We all want to kind of be aligned with that frequency. So you drew this person in with that energy, but once they were met with it face to face, it started to scare them, the expansion, and especially how fast it was going. Because there's an emphasis on the speed of the Knight of Swords here. He rushes in so fast that even his horse is looking back at him saying, oh my gosh, you're going to hurt us. Like we're going to fall and hurt ourselves. But it's like they didn't have the ego strength to admit that, to admit their insecurity, to admit they're afraid, to admit they're not on the same level, because they still had that attraction for you. And they felt like that made them look so weak in comparison. And this is this Five of Swords. It's like this mentality of like, logically speaking, I should just leave now. I should just leave now before they reject me. I should just leave now before they see the true version of me, because they're going to see through me soon. They're going to see through me that I'm not on the same level as them. And the Nine of Pentacles is really somebody who looks up at you like you are unattainable. It's like your expectations were way up here and they didn't know if they could match them. And so they said, this is going to blow up in our face. I've got to skirt away. If I want to be seen as any type of winner here, if I don't want to feel like I've disappointed people, I'm going to have to skirt away. I'm going to have to leave in order to avoid that before they discover, before they cut me out of their life. So it's like they were rejecting before they got rejected. And it had a lot to do with their own personal insecurity, their own fears, and their own capability of kind of giving you what you had perhaps outlined to them of what your expectations were. It's just that things just seemed to be moving a little bit too fast, and that really scared them. It pulled them in different directions emotionally, and it really scared them. But they didn't want to admit that because that's admitting some type of defeat. Why did they go to pile number 3, please? You have older woman. Dealings or relationship with an older woman. So this can be both, in our age, but also in our maturity level. We have the money path. It says here, a path with money is waiting for you to find it. And the key, successful outcome to your problem, and it's reverse. It's like they also didn't feel like they could give you what you were expecting out of life as well, until they get older, until they're more equipped. I do feel like they're having a hard time with the separation as well, though. We have here emotionally loving and secure family is important to you. And we have fair man, dealings or relationship with a man with blonde hair or a fair energy. And so you may have, even the Queen of Cups, she is the mother of the deck. She wants certain things fulfilled within her. Sometimes she wants children, she wants family. And you may have communicated that. Like you may be very direct, and because Queen of Swords she's like, I know what I want. And I'm going to outline it for you so you don't waste my time. So there's a sense of that. And so they just weren't prepared for that. They were feeling ill-equipped. We have here Turkey. Someone is behaving stupidly, and they know that they made mistakes. They know that they let that internal conflict get to them, and that now there's really no winner in the whole situation. did they ghost and how are they currently feeling for pile number 3, please? If your wedding, the situation has involved marriage. Now that could have been an expectation, so take that as it resonates. They're fearful of perhaps taking it to that level. They're not ready for commitment. We have here codependency. Addictions are affecting your romantic life. And we do have the devil here too. Sometimes we can be addicted to all different types of substances, but we can also be addicted to negative self-talk. We can be addicted to a lack of self-belief or a lack of self-confidence. And we have playfulness. To recapture romance, allow your youthful spirit of fun to shine. And it's like they really wanted to explore this opportunity and to take their time doing so. There's a high sense of flirtation as well, in accordance even with the 3 of Wands. But it's like they didn't want to rush it to the commitment phase. They were insecure about that. But let's pull out some message cards here and see what their current thoughts are before we look into the future and see if they're going to reach back out to you or if they're going to maintain their distance. So what is this person currently thinking about pile number 3, please, when it comes to ghosting them? I just want space. But my life started when I met you. That's coming out together. It's like I knew that this was an opportunity, but I just want a little bit of space so I can clear my mind, so I can see things clearly. I sometimes wonder if you care. And it's the 13, it's the death energy. So it's like a huge rebirth that they felt was afforded to the connection. It's like, I know that I was on the precipice of change, but I perhaps wasn't ready for that big rebirth. And so there's this feeling of like you have goals, and they were wondering if it even mattered if they were your partner, if it's another person. It wouldn't matter if there was a different person standing beside you. So it's like, are you invested in me, or are you invested in the dream that you've outlined for me? I can't even look at you right now, the 5 of Swords, because of that internal conflict. And now it's the Ace of Swords. That's why it's like it's kicking me. I'm stressed out about the actions that I've taken. I've created this situation. And it's like the longer they go, they may not even intended on ghosting you. They just needed a little bit of space. But like it's the longer that they go between contact, the harder it is to face you, because they're afraid you're going to cut their head off now. But like the truth hit me afterwards that I'd made a big mistake. Because they're still, honestly, they still feel almost addicted to you in a sense. Then we have, I just want you all the time. But this was coming out reverse. It's like delays in gratification, delays in kind of getting what I want. Ultimately, this could be an indication, though, that they do have intentions of perhaps popping in for you out of the blue. But we have time to ground ourselves. It reminds me a lot of the Hermit energy. And about regrouping. It's like they've retreated to try to figure things out, to figure out if they are able to give you the expectations that you deserve. But let's take a look at those expectations. Let's see if this person is going to reach back out. Will they ghost pile number 3 forever, or are they going to reach back out? Well, we have here the 7 of Wands with the Wheel of Fortune. The World, they are going to reach back out to you. I feel like there's a very critical energy coming from the Queen of Swords, though. You can see the Queen here looking at the timepiece, holding that scythe in her hand. It's like, I'm only giving you a certain amount of time to reach out to me, and if you don't, oh, I'm going to be angry. It's like I'm not going to receive the message well. It's like I'm not waiting forever. We have the 5 of Wands. Back of the deck is the King of Wands, and we have the Judgment. Very strong fire energy here too, and we have the death energy. So they are going to reach out to you, and it's actually going to open up another opportunity for both of you. It's going to offer an opportunity for the two of you to turn things around if you choose to. That's what Spirit's really adamant about, is there's going to be a choice involved here for both parties. But they are focused on returning or to reach out to you, but they're really afraid now about the pain that they've caused you, and that's limiting them in this moment. There's also this feeling of like worrying that they're going to have competition in the future of the connection as well. But that spark is still raging for you, and they are going to make contact. And then what the two of you do with that opportunity, this turn of events that will be in your favor, because that's what you're looking for, is this contact to open up again. There are still going to be challenges before we get to that clearance. but it's not insurmountable. There's potential in the future of this connection. Oops, I'm bumping you. Let's get a charm bowl, please, for pile number 3. What was the last thought that this person had about pile 3 in the bowl? Oh, I missed it completely. We have the Fool reversed. We have the Ten of Swords reversed. And we have the Tower reversed. They worry that they have already created permanent change or permanent damage. They're also not quite ready for permanent change yet. They're not ready to take that leap of faith. They feel a little bit helpless right now, but they also don't want to close the chapter completely because the Ten of Swords is reversed. I feel like this person's going to come back and ask for some forgiveness from you. And ultimately, it does provide a new day. You can see the dawn of the day forming over top of those mountain peaks. It implies that there's going to be an opportunity to formulate new plans of action towards goals in this connection if we choose to at that time. So it's really important about the choices that we make moving forward. But they're going to come back around and ask for some forgiveness to see if they actually have a place to stand with you. And ultimately, the Queen of Swords gets to make that decision. She gets to decide whether or not, this situation is for her or not for her in the future. We have here believe. We have Q and we have D. So it's like we have questions to ask. We have L. We have the 2 hearts linked together, and we have a carrot, something being dangled in front of us. And we have the butterfly of transformation. So Spirit is indicating that you're going to have a turn of events in your favor here, and they want you to use that to keep yourself focused. We have the hatchet, separation, live, laugh, and love, finding joy in the journey and believe in love. We also have here Minnie Mouse's bow. So I think about children, immaturity too as well, and someone who thinks very highly of you. We have the innocence of the cherries. This person feels very young or very innocent, or doesn't have a lot of experience perhaps, or at least not to the capacity of your experience at this time. All right, my dears, that's what I have for you today. Hope that it resonates with you. And if it did, please be sure to drop your comment below in the comment section. Even if you have to come back, I would love to hear your comment. If you have recently subscribed and commented on any of my videos this month, be sure to check your notifications because I'm waiting back to hear from one of my winners. You can also check out my links below for Etsy for a personal reading, or for Instagram. I just post about our life, food, everything that's boring, but you might want to check me out there because I do offer on occasion a chance to win a free mini read over there. So be sure to check me out. But I hope that you come back and visit me on another day at the Tarot Cottage, and I hope you have a great day.